Recently, it's not just tithes you pay. If truly you're in tune with how God is moving, you will ask him and say, Lord, this thing is your own. What do you want me to do with it? The breath that I'm breathing, the life that I'm living is your own. What do you want me to do with it? This child that you've given to me is your own. How do you want me to bring her up? This marriage you're going to, what is it going to be? How is it going to serve the purpose of the kingdom? Because if you put anything before God, God will take that thing out. Don't get caught on the wrong side. Don't get caught on the wrong side. Don't get caught on the wrong side. All things work together for good to them that love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. We like to stop at all things. To them that love the Lord and called according to his purpose, not your own. I don't conform to your will. You conform to mine. Don't tempt God. I'm closing already. Don't tempt God. I mean, he told you clearly, I am a jealous God. And you still want to thank you? And Jesus said unto him, why callest me good? There is none good but one, and that is God. If I have the time, I'll tell you why Jesus made this statement. 19. Commandment. Jesus is now answering him. Do not commit adultery, do not kill, do not steal, do not bear false witnesses, do not defraud not, honor thy father and thy mother. Please notice, because I may not have time to go back there. Notice that Jesus skipped the first commandment and he went to others. He skipped the number one commandment and he went to others. Verse 20, and he said unto him, Master, all these I have observed from my youth. 21. Then Jesus, beholding him, loved him, and said unto him, one thing thou lackest. Go thy way, sell whatsoever thou hast, and give to the poor, that thou shalt have treasure in heaven. This guy had nothing in heaven. As rich as he was on earth, he had nothing. No record of him in heaven. The Bible ensured in 3 different gospels that his name was not mentioned. Let me not digress. And take up the cross and follow me. Next verse. And he was sad at that saying, and went away grieved, for he had great possession. So, if Jesus had told him, love the Lord your God, you say, sir, I've been doing this since I was born. But Jesus diagnosed the situation, skipped that one, gave him the one that he will answer very well. Then he now gave him the one that tests him. Because Jesus said categorically, you cannot serve God and mammon. So this guy was serving mammon and using God to get his prosperity. Because anybody who follows the laws of God will get the results of God. That's why unbelievers sometimes get rich. You know a lot of them. They know the principles of God. It is God that established seed time and harvest. And so they love money and they use God. But we're supposed to love God and use things to further this gospel and the purpose of God. And so he turned around, because give him God, give him money, he will choose money. Jesus said, carry your cross and follow me. This is Jesus saying, I'm about to elevate you to the status of those. Do you know who the apostles are? They are the foundations of the New Jerusalem. By the time we get to heaven, probably they will divide the territories into 12, and each of them will handle one. Because they are estates. That's what the Bible says. This guy was about to be called into the ministry. Maybe he will have been the one to replace Judas. Maybe. Because if he had followed Jesus at that time, the criteria for replacing Judas was somebody who has been with us from this time, witnessed everything that happened, saw it to the cross. Maybe you would have had a chance in the council of meetings that decide this guy had 0 treasures in heaven. So somebody can be on earth and it looks like he's doing well, but his life doesn't count in heaven's agenda. And you have 70 years, 100 years if God grants you grace, 120 if you have faith. Then you now, and after 120, there is nothing for you to put your feet in 1,000 years, no. 1 million years, no. 10 million years, eternity, how do you quantify it? The jealousy of God, the money, and all his possessions was standing in his way. And he had one chance to correct it, but he didn't. The jealous God. Whatever stands in his way, including the children of Israel. Isaiah chapter 5. Isaiah chapter 5. From verse 1, thank you. Now will I sing to my well-beloved a song of my beloved, touching his vineyard. My beloved had a vineyard in a very fruitful hill. Next verse, thank you. We're going to verse 7. And he fenced it and gathered out the stones thereof and planted it with the choicest vine and built a tower in the midst of it and also made a winepress therein. And he looked that it should bring forth grapes, and it brought forth wild grapes. Next verse. And now, O you inhabitants of Jerusalem, men of Judah, judge, I pray you, betwixt me and my vineyard. What could have been done more to my vineyard that I have not done in it? My vineyard, my planting, my seed, my nourishment, my provisions, my land, my earth, everything was given. What could have been done more to my vineyard that I have not done in it? Wherefore, when I looked that it should bring forth grapes, it brought forth white grapes. Let's go a little bit more. And now I will tell you what I will do to my vineyard. I will take away the edge thereof, and it shall be eaten up, and break down the wall thereof, and it shall be trodden down. Verse 6. And I will lay it waste, it shall not be pruned, nor digged, but there shall come up briars and thorns. And I will also command the clouds that there rain no rain upon it. Last verse 7. For the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel, and the men of Judah his pleasant plants. Pleasant plants. And he looked for judgment, but behold oppression. For righteousness, but behold a cry. And so when we see the jealous God in action, he wants, see, that term jealous, if you check dictionary now, it tells you it's something about resentment. That's not the real meaning in that word. It talks about resentment for things that other people have. No, that's envy. That's envy. Jealousy speaks of exclusivity. Remember the general I told you about at the beginning of the message? Imagine that he has a wife, and the wife now desires to turn against him. And the wife is now trying to set him up the council where they will maybe have a court martial and dismiss him. Be sure that he will come for you. With the might of his power. Happening that what we just read now. So I asked God this morning, Lord, why are we talking about the jealousy of God? I thought it's a time when people want to be encouraged, when things are happening, when things are turbulent. I thought it's a time when I should come and preach how God is able to do exceedingly abundantly, above all you can ask or think. But he said that the people may revere me, the people may revere. Because the bottom line of the jealousy of God is that you have the fear of God. That the people may revere me. That the people may choose me exclusively. Precarious time. That the people love me like we always do before. That there will be no plan B. Not that if God, you have till 15th of next month. No, there's no plan B. That you might have faith in him. That if you have put your hands on the plow, you're not permitted to look back. That is why Apostle Paul in Romans chapter 12 verse 1 says, I beseech you, I beg you, I plead with you, by the mercies of the Lord, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God. Then he says, it is your reasonable service. It means if you don't do this, it's unreasonable, it's unjust. And the owner is just to take it back from you. The owner is just to take any action he wants to take. Imagine the landlord gave you a house and he said, this is purely residential. Don't partition, don't put shop, don't bring in this and that. And God help you, you are living in the same compound with the landlord. Then you moved in and you say, I've paid for the rent. Then you start breaking the walls. Whatever he does, he will be just because you've become unreasonable. He said that you might have faith in me. The jealousy of God protects you even in a precarious time like this. The jealousy of God preserves you. The jealousy of God defends you. But don't go on the other side of the jealousy of God. Don't go on the other side. The ground can open up and swallow you up. And I asked him too, okay, so what about me? Well, this message for me. And he gave me my own too. And so as I'm about to close the service, I'm going to give you a chance to also ask God now. And begin to pray. Lord, why this message at this time? What do I need to fix? Because the Bible says examine yourself. And begin to align yourself with the Lord. In the book of Proverbs chapter 21. Proverbs chapter 21 verse 1. It says the heart of the king is in the hands of the Lord. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whatsoever he will. We always say that this is the king, the president. That's true. We can use it in prayer. No problem. But the person who wrote this one is the king. So he was talking about his own heart. My heart is in your hands. Direct me. Direct the course of my life. Can somebody start praying to God now? Father, in the name of Jesus. You're my owner. You're my source. You're my Lord. I'm nothing without you. There's nothing I have that you didn't give. There's nothing I received that didn't come from you. The very breath that I breathe is yours. Everything I have up to now you give to me. Thank you. Thank you.